My teacher, my math teacher in fourth grade just asked, who does everybody have a crush
That's
on?
weird. I'm
It
sorry. That's not
was.
your business.
It was.
You got called out by a
And
teacher.
one by one, everyone went around the room just picking out who everybody had crushes on.
Why didn't you just lie?
We're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
And we are black. Welcome to the Meant to Be podcast, the last podcast you'll ever need. I am your host, Marvin, and with me, as always, we have the beautiful, gorgeous, talented supermodel of the world, Rachael Williams.
Hi.
Today, we're going back to elementary, middle, and high school. We're talking first crushes, house rules, and the sex ed we wish we had. But before we get into that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this video. And while you're at it, comment below. How young is too young to date? Sound off for us, chat. All right. Do you remember your earliest crush?
Are we talking TV crush or physical crush?
Physical crush. We don't really have to get into the TV of it all. Imaginations.
The earliest crush, like first crush?
That would be earliest. Didn't get no earlier than that.
I'm trying to remember who my like very first crush was. What if you don't remember their name? You just remember what they look like.
You think I remember names? I don't remember the names of people that I know on a day-to-day basis.
Well, then how am I supposed to describe this?
Just the situation doesn't have to be their name.
Earliest crush. Oh my God, wait, no, I think I do remember his name. He's gonna, he probably won't listen to this, but people that know me and know my school would know. His name was Kendall.
Tyndall?
Kendall.
Kendall.
Why Tyndall?
Why Kendall?
Whose name is Tyndall? There's many people named Kendall.
I don't know about many.
There's many people named Kendall. But
Name two.
the one that I had a crush on, and somebody else named Kendall out there. Boom, two. So his name was Kendall. He had glasses. He was really cute. He was just this. I mean, we were also like in first, second grade.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
You know?
Yeah.
So it was like I always had like a little bit of like a crush on him. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I ever told that to anybody. But I always thought he was cute. There was like a picture of like him and I when I was a baby. Not a baby, but
what?
Just being dramatic, Mar. So.
I don't know. I feel like you went to the same school with the same people your entire life.
Grade.
I know, but that could still mean you had pictures when you were a baby.
I don't know if he was in kindergarten with me, but yeah, we were in school together, and I think no, we were not sat anywhere near each other because his last name was King. It was Kendall King. His last name was King, and my last name was Bellner, so we were never sat next to each other.
You just know all the details. I don't remember anything. Now she got first and last name.
Because once you start to get me like going and like the memories, my memories like click back into place.
All right, fair enough. I know for me, I definitely don't remember names and it's not going to come to me. But when I was in like first grade, I had a crush on this little, she could have been white. She could have been Spanish. Odds are with me, she was probably Spanish, but I don't know. But I have I don't have the picture, but there is a picture of us at my first birthday party. Well, not my first grade birthday party. It was at McDonald's and somewhere at my great grandparents' house. It's in one of those many photo albums. But that was my earliest crush. And I remember this because when I was in first grade, I was the OG. And then like a couple months into the year, another Marvin showed up in school, also black. But years later, we ended up playing football together. And he was like, so-and-so told me they had a crush on me. And I was like, no. She thinks you're me. But that's like the earliest that I remember of that.
Cute little baby drama.
Yeah. What are you going to do? We all run into it. Were you ever called out or embarrassed about a crush?
No. I don't think I was ever called out on a crush or like embarrassed about a crush.
Nice.
Not that I remember off the top of my head. I don't remember anybody ever giving me a hard time for crushing on somebody. Okay, well, the setup makes me believe that something happened to you.
Oh, did something. So when I was in fourth grade, for a little backstory, I want to say like first through fifth grade, I was in a different school every year. I was with my mom and we moved around a lot. So in fourth grade, just starting at this school, one day, out of nowhere, my math teacher, Mr. Archie, yeah, that's right, I remember your name, he just asked out of nowhere, so who does everybody have a crush on? Math teacher.
Teacher?
My teacher, my math teacher in 4th grade just asked, "Who does everybody have a crush
That's
on?"
weird. I'm
It
sorry. That's not
was.
your business.
It was.
You got called out by a
And
teacher.
one by one, everyone went around the room just picking out who everybody had crushes on.
Why didn't you just lie?
We're going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
So, as a 4th grader in a brand new school, I'm like, nobody knows me and who I have a crush on. And so it gets to me and someone from across the room, oh, Marvin has a crush on so and so. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 baby, whoa, whoa, whoa. And the lie is, oh, I used to have a crush on her, but now I don't. That was the best I could do. That was the best I could do at
Oh,
4th
little
grade.
boy brain got
Listen,
to
I don't
ya.
know. And looking back, this girl obviously had a crush on me, but I didn't know what I was doing. So it never happened. And then I moved. So
Oh, well, yeah, you were just a baby.
yeah, but no, Mr. Archie, that was very weird.
That was very weird. I ain't never had a teacher go, okay, guys, for today's assignment,
What the hell this got to do with numbers, Mr. Archie?
I want to know who y'all crushing on.
Crazy times.
Mm-mm.
How did you go about dating in elementary and middle school?
I didn't.
You
My
didn't.
parents didn't let me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, going along with that, how young is too young to date?
Okay, so even though I wasn't allowed to date when I was younger, I still attempted to. Like,
As we
oh,
all do.
as we all do behind our parents' backs because we think we know better than our parents. It was never successful, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I would say I would be okay with our kids to start dating, like actually like dating at like you're probably gonna be like, "What?" Probably like 15. Like to start officially dating. If they're like little kids and they have like little kid crushes, like I'll entertain it because it's cute, whatever. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not serious. Sometimes it does. But I'm like, if it's just like a little innocent, like they're my Valentine and I wanna get them this, okay, whatever. Like that's cute. Like if they say they have a crush and they wanna have a boyfriend, I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay, cute. But when they're like actually dating and the guy wants to take them out to the movies, that's when I'm gonna be sitting 5 rows above watching, making sure no hanky panky's going on in the movie theaters. We'll do it every time.
I know for me, I would say 15 is a little late. I would be fine. Can I finish?
I
Give me a
guess.
second. I would say like middle school. I think middle school is a
Middle
decent time
school.
because that's when they're going on those little dates and we're taking them. And we're, they want to go out to lunch. We'll sit across from them or we'll be at a different table or we're 5 rows above or whatever.
I
But
don't know
like,
about middle school.
why not middle school?
It's so young.
I don't think middle school is that young. Middle school is what, like 11, 12?
That's like older middle school. When you like start middle school, you're still like,
No, because you're
I
10
don't.
in 5th grade.
Let me research. How old are you when you enter middle school? And I could be wrong because also I have no concept of age or time. And I still think that my nephews that are like, 14 and 12 should still be in middle school when the one is clearly not. Oh, dang. Yeah. Well, middle school, they enter at grades 6 through 8,
Mhm.
and it's around the age 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And they finish around 13 or 14. I don't know though, 11, that's so young. Like, I look at my nephew that's like 12 right now, and I'm like, dating? Like,
Tyson could have a girlfriend.
Tyson's 14. I'm talking about Trip.
Chip could have a girlfriend.
Not at 12,
Why not?
because that's a little too young. He needs to develop a little more as a boy. I'm sorry, coming from like a woman's perspective, like boys are not developed that well at like 12 to 14. They're
I
not
know
going to
that.
take dating seriously. Like, they're not going to, like, they're just gonna kinda be hams with it. So, like, I wouldn't care again, like, if they just wanna, like, say they do, but, like, to actually, like, make it a thing and have them go on dates and sitting at tables, like, I don't I don't mind doing that, but, like, I feel like that's a little
Is that
young,
not dating if they're like at 11 with that?
I guess.
We don't even have kids and you're over here freaking out about our
Low key, I
imaginary
am
babies.
stressing about our imaginary babies. I'm like, "They're too young. They're not ready."
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think middle school is crazy because I think that's when you're first getting started, figuring that out, and it's nothing too serious. Experience your little crushes and deal with that as you.
Can we say, like, a happy medium at, like, 13?
13's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Parenting.
Parenting with no children.
So knowing what we know now, what's the healthiest way to kind of start dating at that age?
Oh, God, that's tough. You go first with this one. I wanna hear your response first before I go into it, because the male brain and the female brain when it comes to starting this kinda stuff is different, so I wanna hear your side.
So with me, I didn't date a lot when I was a kid. I know I like tried a little bit, but nothing ever got serious. I think I had like I told you before we even started this how I would have like my thing. I had like a
Yeah.
summer girlfriend, but like
See, like, that's crazy.
it's just summer camp. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, literally, all we would do is like we'd play dodgeball and we'd eat our little sandwiches together. Like, nothing crazy is happening here.
Yeah.
But I definitely think in the ideal world, it's the most innocent thing where it's think you're cute and laugh all the time. That's what I would hope our kids' first relationship would just be like.
Right.
And then from there, that's where it gets serious as they get to high school and actually have real relationships. Now, maybe those little relationships, develop into real things as
Mhm.
they sometimes do. And if that does happen, then, good for them. That's cute. They get that little like childhood sweetheart thing. But I definitely want to guide them better than I got when it came to like relationships. To be like, this is what's going through this little boy's head or this little girl's head as they're figuring out their own lives, but I still want to take care of our kids.
Yeah.
Because of course they're gonna get their little hearts broken, but they'll be fine in the end.
Yeah, and that's where I, like, teeter on the age because I'm like that's why I kinda said 15 at first because I was like, they could have something, like, cute, small, whatever, like, it's fine, go out to dinner dates, go out to the movies, whatever. Um, because then that's where I'm like, if they're young, if they're, like, 13, 14, and, like, they get their little hearts broken, like, I don't wanna go to jail for
You're
my
gonna go
child
to jail for them getting their little heart broken?
because somebody's mama didn't raise their child right to not
Oh
break my
my
little baby's
god.
heart. So, I gotta talk to the parental figure of whoever hurt my little baby. So, yeah, I just don't wanna go to jail. Did you have a follow-up to that?
I just think these
Am I
things happen.
wrong?
I think there's gonna be some stupid little kid out there who's gonna say the
Who has
wrong
a
thing.
stupid parent who
Oh my
I gotta
god.
go handle now?
Well, what if we have the stupid kids?
Then I gotta take it like a champ. I gotta take
Oh my god. Listen, we're gonna do our best, but like we might be raising stupid kids a little bit
I
and
hope
then they'll
not.
get there.
And that's the thing, I do agree, like, when they're younger, they have their cute little fun, like, "Oh, it's just fun, and we're laughing, and we're having a good time." Because I do agree, like, love my parents, but they started me way too late at dating. And like I said, I still attempted to date behind their backs when I was, like, 14, 15, um, to a guy I remember his name too, Dominic, but was
We
good,
just
Dominic.
shouting out Dominic too. Say anybody's name you don't know.
No, I remember Dominic's name because that one was a more I think, a more memorable crush because I was middle school age with that one.
I feel like
So,
that's where, at least for me, that's where memories actually develop. So that's where
yeah.
I can remember names. Because I do remember like first girlfriends' names and from there and
Yeah.
there.
Like, he was probably one of the first, actual, like, serious crushes that I had. Um, and so that one was more memorable for me, and when we were, like, 14, he actually, like, went up to my dad and was like, "Sir, is it okay if I take your daughter out on a date?" And my dad goes, "Oh my gosh, I so appreciate you coming up and asking me." "No, and here's why." And then my dad gives this little boy a lecture of
Ed giving a lecture?
why we can't date or take me out. And to him, like and of course, like any logical thing, he's like, "Well, I can't date you, so I'm just gonna, like, move on." He's like, "I'm not gonna wait until you're 16." And then because my dad okay, and then here's the other thing too. All right, my dad said 16, and I remember that. He said 16. And then I turned 16, and then this man goes, "No, I told you 17. I'm gonna date until I was 17." And then by the time I was 17, it was all these high school age or just graduated age.
Almost done with school by that age.
Yeah.
By that's it.
But
By that age.
that's
17 is crazy.
so for me, the first actual relationship that I am in is the most toxic relationship I have ever been in my entire life. Started with a bang, like
and it's your fault.
No, don't do that. I was literally just about to say how it's not their fault that that's the person that ended up in my life. Like they can't pick the situation. It just so happened to be the most toxic person. But that's the thing is like, that's why I feel like 17 was too old because I didn't have like, yes, the thing that like with Dominic and I, like we did have like a cute, like we had like summer things. We had cute like hangouts whenever we were like in group settings. Like we would always like sit next to each other, hold each other's hands. Like, but we never kissed. We never did anything like that. We just had a good time, held each other's hands, had like cute little texts and stuff. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't anything like serious or like it wasn't an actual relationship, which was fine, honestly. Like he, I think, is happily engaged or married now. Like he's still like on my Instagram and stuff. Like I'll see him randomly, his random posts and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, like I'm glad he's doing well. And like, I think same with me. Like he sees some of my stuff and like he's probably thinking the same thing. Like we're both happy in the situations that we are. It was a cute little summer. It was like a couple summers, I would say, but we were in the same youth group. So.
There you go. 17.
17 was when I was allowed to have my first boyfriend, and
Oh my God.
that was awful. But I will say that I am kind of it's gonna sound like so redundant, but like I'm happy that the worst was first because then after that, I knew exactly how I wanted to be treated and how I should be treated. So every other situation after that, the minute I could tell it was going toxic, I backed out. And so it honestly helped me in the long run because then like it made me strong enough to be like, nope, you are showing signs of what my ex did. I'm out. And it led me to you. So
It all works out in the end. Right? Did you ever shoot your shot, or did you always get? Of course, you always got asked. I'll look at you. I'm going to the next question. How did?
I did not always look this good. I was cute. I will say I was cute, but middle school is tough. Middle school and high school is tough because your body is forming itself basically. And in middle school, I was this like really lanky, tall, skinny, and I'm still the same way, but like my body was disproportionate more when you're like younger like that. And then like all my other friends are hitting puberty and getting all these like nice boobs and a good booty. And then I'm sitting here at 27 still waiting for mine. So it was really awkward too for me because like when everybody else's bodies were changing and getting to a certain point, mine stayed the same. So I wasn't getting like physically looked at like that. I found out later though by some of my like high school friends, some of my guy high school friends that they were like, we didn't know what your type was and we would have definitely like dated you if we knew exactly what your type was. No, it was very obvious what my type was. I'm not even going to lie. So I feel like that was a lie, but I just don't think they were fully attracted to me like that at that point. And then when I did, like after high school is when I think I really like that's when I really like blossomed was like post high school. And then that's when the people from high school were hitting me up like, "Hey, how's it been?" And I'm like, "Too late. I already got this toxic man next to me." Not you. But
Of course, not
I know
me.
I pointed, but yeah, didn't realize he was that toxic as he was going to be. But then I had the guy that I was with and I was like, "Dating sucks." So yeah, I was the one that made the first move most of the time, I would say. I was I was very
Bold,
bold. Yeah, I'm a bold person though. I can't help it.
and we know this, and we love you for it.
What about you?
I know I'm a guy, so I usually was the one having to shoot my shot. I know I landed some girls in my days, and sometimes I would shoot and miss, and that's okay too. I know I was asked out once. This other time doesn't count. It was prom, but in like middle school, I like where was I? I want to say I was in gym, and this girl who I didn't even not in a way like I didn't even have a crush on, but like I didn't even like this girl just in general. And then she just comes over to me and she like puts her like arms like around my head, and she's just like, "Hey, do you have a girlfriend?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, do you want to be boyfriend girlfriend?" I'm like, I didn't say it, but of
Did you say yes?
course I didn't say
Oh,
yes.
okay, good.
I literally like took her arms off of me, and I was like, "No,
Oh
no,
my
no, no."
gosh.
And I walked out of this little PE gym, and I went to tell like one of my friends immediately.
Which one?
You don't know her, but immediately. This was middle school, so like,
Oh, okay.
like as I was just meeting like Kyle Allen, but yeah, no, I was like, yeah, no.
I will say I remember this time that I was in choir, and there was a new kid at our school, and he was very bold himself. And he was like, I don't know if he was like flirting with me, but he kept like talking to me. And um, one day in choir, I was sitting there and I had like my knees kind of like up, and we had uniforms, the school that I went to, so I was wearing a skirt. I had shorts underneath, but my knees were like popped up like this. He sits next to me and my skirt is like down a little bit, so like my legs are showing. And I don't even know what we were talking about. I don't even remember what was said. And then next thing you know, he bit my leg, like right here, the meat right here, bit it. And I smacked him. And my school was small. And so I don't know how nobody else saw it, but by the third period, he twisted the story and said that I had hit him for no reason. And I'm just hitting the new kid. So that spread around, which was not fun because then of course small school news travels fast. And I already was kind of like, I wasn't like weird, but I was kind of like weird. I can't lie. So then yeah, like, oh, hearing about like this weird girl who just like hit a guy for no reason. And I'm like, no, I have the bite mark to prove that he bit my leg. Cause then people were coming up to me like, why would you hit him? Why would you hit the new kid? He's so nice. I'm like, no, he bit my leg. Like, that's not cool. Don't bite me. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that was a discussion I would have to have with people when upon meeting them is, hey, nice to meet you. Please don't think about biting me. Like, what? I don't know. It was crazy. I still remember that to this day. He is, though, as we progressed in like high school and stuff, like, cause I think that was like freshman year. But when we got to like senior year, we were actually pretty good friends. I'm not gonna lie. He was a cool dude, but he bit me on the leg.
And ironically, she can't stop biting me nowadays. So you see what happens?
I feel like that just can't help that when you look so juicy.
Jesus, woman.
It looks so scrumptious,
Okay, well, there's things
so
that we
delicious. Yeah. Next question.
Jesus. All right, well, there's things that, we learn in life and there's things that we learn in school. So I'm sure the answer is no because I know the school that you went to, but did you have sex education?
We did.
You did.
It was considered health class. It
Okay.
was for a certain semester in middle school. I think when we hit about seventh grade, they did a health class. They pulled the girls into one room, the guys into the other room, and we had diagrams. The women's was definitely more graphic than the males. It was like, yes, going to a private school, like, yes, we had a health class, but it was more like a scared straight, like, don't have sex health class. Like, they literally showed us, like, I don't know if they actually showed us somebody giving birth, but they like showed us like a vagina and like a baby, like being born. I don't think like the full visual, but they kind of were just like, if you get pregnant, here's what's to come with it. And
Have
like,
sex and you die.
yeah, like all the stuff that comes with it. And so we did have a pretty educational course, but it wasn't anything like, and they did tell us, like if you are going to have sex, have condoms, have this, have that, if you're of age, have birth control, like stuff. They did tell us protection, but like their main point was just don't have sex, which is not, I don't know, for a bunch of kids, especially in high school, like, yes, we learned this in middle school, but once you get to high school, you forget all about that and you just. But I was a perfect angel, mom and dad. I was perfect. I was a virgin until my wedding night. Couldn't even keep a straight face. I'm sorry. Sorry.
God, crazy girl. I know sex ed isn't something that I had, and I didn't really get the birds and the bees talk. I got a little something something from my uncles, but you know my uncles, so you can imagine how that went.
So it was very sage advice,
Uh huh.
sound counsel.
Oh, absolutely. Talking about, you
Say it. Say it.
spit on that thing, talk to her. Literally, I'm not even joking. That's the way that one of my uncles described sex.
Wait, can I guess which one? You don't have to put this in the podcast. It wasn't, was it Tarek?
Of course it was.
I was like, of the two, that sounds like a Tarek saying.
Yes. Yes, it was him.
Oh my God.
No, I got that from him. I know neither of my parents really talked about sex with me, but I know when I got my very first real girlfriend in high school, I came home one day and there was a brown paper bag of condoms on my bed, and I was like, I don't even know where this came from, and I
Wow.
don't even have it in me to ask, but that's the most that I got. And from there, I like figured it out on my own. And I did all right. We got here, married, trying to figure out babies. So we got this.
We got this. I think my parents did brush up on some stuff, and then especially when they did find out that I was having sex. I will say my parents were pretty even though they didn't want to be, they were pretty supportive about it. Like, when I did finally admit that I was having sex, like, my mom knew, though. Like, I was having sex for at least a year, and my mom knew, and she was just waiting for me to admit it, and I was like, "Of course, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm having sex." Like, I'm I'm not gonna spill those beans, like, you're my mother, that's so uncomfortable, but once I did finally once she guessed and pulled it out of me, um, she was like, "Are you going to stop having sex?" And I said, "No." So she said, "Okay, well, then let's go get you an IUD." So, thankfully, at least she was the type of mother that, like, when she found out that I was having sex and I told her that, like, "No, I'm not gonna stop, sorry, love you, but, like, no."
Okay. You fiend.
Um, but once I started having sex, I was like, I at the time was with a partner that I felt comfortable enough with, and so he was like, "All right, then let's just go get an IUD in place so that there's less chance of babies in case anything." And they that was their main thing, that they were like, "Dear God, please don't get pregnant." Sure. I didn't get pregnant.
Oh my God. All right. Well, how do we want to handle the birds and the bees for our kids?
I feel like when they do hit like middle school age, honestly, just sit down and like almost like a health class, just lay it all out and just be like, "Listen, like, we'd prefer you to not do it so soon in your life. We'll let you choose when you're older, but like when you're just a baby, don't,
Don't.
don't." But we would lay out, especially the things that I feel like I would lay out the things that would like potentially come with it, like STDs and pregnancies and all that stuff, and just kind of scare them, but spook them just a little bit. Just spook them a little bit, just so that just so then that way, they don't want to when, somebody tries to convince them or talk them into it, because that does happen where you'll be like, "Come on, everybody's doing it. It's fine. It's cool. It's kosher, whatever."
For sure.
So, yeah, just kind of being like, "Hey, don't do it with just anybody. Just don't do it."
My goodness. I think for me, I definitely want to, affirm the feelings that they're going to be having and
Aw.
the questions that they're going to be asking. I want them to know that it's okay to be asking these questions because
Yeah.
this is a normal thing that's happening. I want them to, I guess, get an understanding of their body and like boundaries. I want them to know what
Yeah.
consent is and knowing how to ask for it and listen for the actual answer when it comes to consent.
Yeah. I definitely want them to feel comfortable talking to us about it. Like, and if it does happen, that they feel that they can. But yeah, I would definitely want them to feel the comfort of like knowing, like, you can talk to us about anything. You can ask us questions if somebody's coming up to you trying to say something. Like, you can come to us first and feel comfortable coming to us, or like if it does happen, feel comfortable enough to say it happened and what we can do next for them.
I'd want them to know like the context of like sexual encounters. So like when it comes to like getting physical with someone versus going to the doctor and things like that.
Yeah.
And then also making sure that they know like the emotion that they're having and what they could be experienced. And then beyond that, letting them know what a digital footprint is so that they're not sending any nudes when they're the teeniest of tiniest of babies.
Right.
And
Better
knowing
not be
that
sending no
this
news.
stuff is out there and you send it to someone, that person can send it to two people and then so on and so forth.
Right.
So making sure that they know that their actions have consequences.
Did you send nudes when you were younger?
High school, college, not high school.
You didn't send anything in high school?
No.
Me neither.
All right. Ah, goodness. I feel like this is a good place to end the podcast. I think we've covered a lot today. All hearts clear. We can get out of here because I have to go to bed.
Ah, sleepy baby. Oh
Exactly.
my
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Yep.
At here.
Okay, well, that's fine.
And now it's on my oily face.
No, it's not.
Okay, God. All right, guys. We hope y'all enjoyed this very fun back to school episode. If your kids went back to school this week, we hope that they have a great rest of the year. Those who are going off to college, we hope that you have a great experience. It's a really good time. Enjoy yourself. Take it easy, learn a lot, experience the world. And if you're finishing up, we hope that you finish strong. All right. Well, make sure that you guys are absolutely liking, sharing, and subscribing. Make sure that you comment how young is too young to start dating. And we look forward to your answers. You guys can always reach out to us on Instagram and TikTok at meant to be pod. That's MEANT, the number two, BEPOD. Of course, you can email us at meant to be pod at gmail.com. You guys can find me on Instagram at Marvin underscore Martian 10. Rachel, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Instagram at rosegold underscore Ray, RAE, or my nail page is Nails by Rachel W, RACHAEL. Don't forget the extra A. Or you can also find me on the TikToks as well as, and it is Rose Gold Ray. And my cat just fell off the table. It's the late night episode, y'all. This is the meant to be after dark.
God.
So we are definitely ready for bed. The animals are so tired and ready for bed and driving us up a wall. So yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Rose Gold Ray.
All right, guys, we will see y'all in 2 weeks. We are getting ready to finish up the season. So make sure that you guys stay tuned because we are looking forward to wrapping up strong and then figuring out season 2. But until then, make sure that you guys keep it real, keep it kind. Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh
Goodbye.
my